Children of alcoholics. Are you okay? Growing up, I thought it was normal that my parents kept special cups in the car for their driving juice, and that sometimes we had to pull over so Daddy could take a nap on the side of the highway. My parents drank all day every day, but I didn't know that wasn't how all parents lived. Mom would pour orange juice and special vitamins for breakfast that made her laugh at everything. Dad kept a flask in his cop uniform that he called his partner. They'd load me into the car with their travel mugs full of whatever they were drinking that day. Mom would sing along to the radio while swerving between lanes. Dad would drive with one eye closed because he said it helped him focus better. When I turned 10, I finally understood what it meant when adults had too much to drink. I started begging them to stop driving after they'd been drinking. Please just call an Uber, I'd say when they'd grab their keys after dinner. Mom would just ruffle my hair and laugh. Sweetheart, we know our limits. 2 glasses of wine is nothing. But it was never 2 glasses. It was the whole bottle plus the vodka from lunch plus the beer from breakfast. Dad would get annoyed when I tried to hide their keys. I'm a cop, he'd say. I know when someone's too impaired to drive. Trust me, kiddo, we're fine. Then he'd back straight into the mailbox on the way out. The accidents started piling up, but nothing ever happened to them. Dad would flash his badge when we got pulled over, and suddenly the other cops would be laughing and letting us go with a warning. We hit a parked car at the grocery store, and Dad just left a note that said, "Sorry," with a fake phone number. Mom drove us into a ditch one night and told me it was because a deer jumped out, even though I never saw any deer. The worst was when Dad ran a red light with me in the back seat, and we got T-boned by a minivan. The other driver's arm was broken. Dad told his cop buddies that the other guy ran the light, and somehow that became the official report. When Mom got pregnant, I thought maybe they'd stop drinking for the baby. Instead, they threw a party to celebrate and got so wasted Dad drove the car through our garage door. After my little sister was born, it got even worse. They'd put her car seat in the back next to me while they sipped from their flasks at red lights. One time, Mom was so buzzed she forgot to buckle the car seat in, and it slid across the back seat when she took a turn too fast. The baby screamed for 20 minutes while Mom laughed and said, "She's got strong lungs." I started buckling my sister and myself and holding the car seat steady with my hands. Then came the announcement that made my blood run cold. We were going on a family road trip to Vegas. 10 hours of driving through the desert, Dad said excitedly. "We'll take turns at the wheel so we can both enjoy our drinks." Mom was already planning which bottles to pack in the cooler. "Vegas isn't for kids," I said desperately. "What are we even gonna do there?" Mom waved me off. "The hotel has a pool. You can watch your sister while Daddy and I hit the casinos." I pictured them driving impaired through the desert with no cell service, maybe rolling the car down a ravine where no one would find us for days. My baby sister would die strapped in her car seat. That's when I knew I had to do something drastic. I watched YouTube videos about cars until I found what I needed. The morning of the trip, while my parents were passed out from their Saturday night binge, I went into the garage with Dad's toolbox. I crawled under the car and found the spark plug wires like the video showed. My hands shook as I pulled them loose and shoved them in my pocket. Then I disconnected something called the starter relay that the video said would make the engine not turn over at all. I even drained half the oil for good measure and hid the bottles behind the lawnmower. I put all the tools back exactly where I found them and flushed the spark plug wires down the toilet piece by piece. The hours before we were supposed to leave felt like days. My parents loaded up the car with their cooler full of beer and vodka. Dad told me to grab my sister's diaper bag. My heart was pounding so hard I thought they were gonna hear it. What if they noticed something was wrong before they even tried to start it? What if they figured out it was me? Dad was a cop, and he already thought I was a liar who made up stories. Who was gonna believe me over him? I could hear Mom calling my name. She wanted me to help load the car. My legs felt like jelly as I stood up. Dad's heavy footsteps were coming down the hallway toward my room, and then I heard him yell something to Mom about getting the keys so we could finally hit the road. And something about someone having messed with the car. Full story on the channel below.